Hello and welcome to worship. Now, does anyone remember what special day we had last Thursday? Something very important happened. And if you're watching this video on a Sunday, perhaps you will know what I'm talking about. Anyone remember? I'm giving you a big clue by saying remember. Well, we've had Remembrance Day this week, haven't we? On Thursday, the 11th of November. And if you are watching us on a Sunday, it is Remembrance Sunday today. Now, before we start to unpack what Remembrance Day means and how we can remember it and celebrate it, let's start off with a memory quiz. Okay, I'm going to show you a video, and on that video, there are a collection of pictures followed by some questions. And your job is to remember as many things as possible from those images. Are your brains warmed up? Let's have a go. Fantastic. I wonder how you did. Now, we have Remembrance Day to remember all of those who fell in the war, all of those who fought in the war and gave their lives for us, gave their lives so that we could have a better way of living. It all started at the end of World War I. The end of World War I was in 1919 and it ended on the 11th of November. Which is why we celebrate Remembrance Day on that day, and it also finished at 11 o'clock, which is why we often have 2 minutes silence at 11 o'clock as well. But of course, we're not just remembering all of those from World War I, even though that's when the tradition started. Now in 2021, we think about all those people who have fought in all of the wars, and we give thanks for everything that they did for us. But also, we are praying for peace. You may have noticed lots of people wearing poppies around this time of year. And that's because during World War I, lots of our soldiers had died in fields in places like France. And around them, where those people had given their lives, these beautiful wild poppies began to grow. And the poppy became a symbol of those wars. And we've taken that forward to remember people who have died in all of the wars as well. I've got to be honest, I often struggle around Remembrance Day. It makes me feel really sad. I think about all those people who were fighting, all those people who were killed, all that upset, and how horrible it must be to live through a war. There are still wars going on around us. I personally, thankfully, haven't been affected directly by war, but I know lots of us have. I'm going to show you a little experiment now. I've got some water and I've got a tablet. It's a vitamin C tablet. You might see your mums and dads and nannies and granddads having these. What do you think will happen if I put this tablet inside the water? Anyone want to have a guess? Should we have a look? Hopefully you can see. The tablet is fizzing up the water. Now I want you to imagine that the water before was us before a war. It was clear. We know what was going on. Now imagine that tablet inside is war itself. It's fizzy. It's unpredictable. Things are flying off it. But what's it doing to the water? You can see, can't we? It's changed it to a bright orange colour. Will that tablet keep fizzing forever? No, eventually that tablet will stop being fizzy. What about the water? Will the water go back to being clear? Or do you think the water might stay orange? It's going to stay orange, isn't it? And that helps me remember times of war. That even when the fighting stopped, even when the fizziness has gone away and everything seems calm, we don't forget that it's been there, and we can often see the effects of war. So during this time of remembrance, let's not forget everything that's happened. However, like my drink, eventually this water will go calm again. We're not going to agitate it by making it fizzy. So what can we do as well as remember? Well, we can forgive, can't we? Remembrance is a time of remembering what's happened, but also for asking for forgiveness and forgiving those around us who may have hurt us in wars and also in our lives as well. I invite you now to pray with me a prayer of remembrance. The words will be on the screen. And if you're able to, why not stand and join me in this remembrance poem? Again, those words will be on the screen. Our craft this week is to make a simple poppy, as big as you like. But I invite you to write on the petals things that perhaps we want to remember, but also things and conflicts which we'd like to forgive. Maybe things that have happened to us that we need to ask God's strength to help us to forgive somebody. Or perhaps it would be big things like forgiving countries or world leaders for things that we haven't found quite right at the moment. Thank you for joining us. God bless, and we'll see you next week.